Getting things done on time can remove a lot of complications and stress from our life. But that's something easier said than done, and we either end up doing everything else than the one we were supposed to do, or nothing at all with a dozen reasons why it would be a good idea to shift things to tomorrow. And that feeling of nothing happening, feeling stuck in life, makes us feel even more unmotivated. So let's see what helps us be more productive, ways to boost productivity and eliminate procrastination so that we can keep showing up more effectively and consistently to keep the momentum up in life. The first one is to have the right strategy in place so that we can get the maximum result from whatever effort we are able to put in on any given day. Things like batching tasks that require similar skills, setting the rule of no multitasking, and realistically time blocking each task. All these help us stay focused longer and actually get things completed. Because when we are trying to multitask, we aren't really doing two or more tasks together. We are simply switching from one task to another. And this slows us down and hurts our accuracy of performance because of the brain's task switch cost, which essentially means we take longer and make more mistakes when we multitask than when we stay with one task. And batching tasks together that require similar skills means we don't have to keep shifting gears from, say, doing something creative like coming up with new ideas, then shifting to thinking in numbers, calculating expenses, and then back again to thinking creatively, crafting a plan for something. And so when we time block each of these tasks, set a specific time to work on them, we get things completed more efficiently. But the key is to be realistic about how long each task would take, not setting aside too little time because that would just stress us out, but also not setting too much time aside because according to Parkinson's law, work expands to fill the time available for its completion, which means that if we are setting aside 1 hour for a task that would only take, say, 20 minutes, then we will end up using that 1 hour to finish that task. The second way to boost productivity is to eliminate procrastination when we keep shifting, starting things to later, or can't stay focused on the job because we keep getting distracted with other things. But before going into that, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Nandita and I'm on a journey to have a bigger say in how things look in my life. And if that's something you too would like in, then this channel is for you. When we keep coming up with reasons why it would be a good idea to do something later, it's usually because we feel the task is either too tough and there would be a lot of hurdles in completing it successfully, or that it's too easy and so boring. Nir Eyal explains why this is so in his book Indistractable. One effective way of dealing with this is to have a plan in place for when things go wrong. This will tone down a lot of the feeling of resistance to starting because knowing we will be able to solve any problems popping up makes the task feel easier, more within our range. The other one is to keep breaking down the task until each step becomes a no-brainer, so simple that it feels, yeah, that's easy, I can do it. But sometimes this very simplicity hurts how productive we are. When the task feels mundane or boring, we keep getting distracted with the things that seem more exciting or at least different. Our brain likes fresh experiences. It brings a rush of dopamine, making us feel happy. And so getting distracted is normal. But as Peter Drucker said, there is nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. So it's easy to come back after 10 minutes of answering emails or checking the phone and wondering, what was I doing? These distractions use up time and disrupt focus, hurting how efficiently we finish something. And one very effective way to boost productivity is to use these very things, the things distracting us, as reward for completing the task. The task gets completed without distraction and we get to enjoy what we like. Another way to deal with distractions is to use the situation support technique, knowing our distractions beforehand and removing them from the space of work or at least from sight. Like turn the notifications off on your phone and computer, or put on noise cancelling headphones, or whatever triggers you to want to do something else. It all comes down to having the right habits in place that help us get the most out of our efforts. Now, breaking bad habits is tough, but changing them is easier, and there are a few effective ways of doing it. And I cover those in my next week's video, so remember to check in or subscribe to stay in the loop. The third way to boost productivity is to set ourselves up to be more productive. What that means is to set up those systems in life that by default make us more productively effective, like how we commit to things. Do we take so much up that it's overwhelming us into inaction? Or are we saying yes, keeping in mind how much we can realistically handle and how truly important they are in our life? Though taking time out to exercise or take care of our diet or spending time around people might feel really counterproductive, they actually get us in a better mood to start doing things because we are more productive when we are feeling good. Or how we work, like chalk in short breaks in the schedule, or plan our work in productive chunks of, say, 25 to 30 minutes. Because these are the things that help us get the most work done in a day based on how our brain works. Here's a bonus tip. If ideas or other things to do keep popping up in your head while working, keep a distraction list. Write them down to be handled when what you are working on is done. Because based on the concept of Zeigarnik effect, it helps us stay focused more effectively on the task we are doing. And it's easier to fix something when you know how it works, and the same goes for getting distracted when trying to do something. I did a video on the techniques to stop getting distracted, which I will link over here if you would like to know more about it, because it's one of the easiest ways to boost productivity. I hope you found this video helpful. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.